Okay, are you following? What I'm trying to
Yes.
explain is we are
That
trying
is
to calculate our
yes.
production overhead. Okay, we are trying to calculate our production overhead. Okay, we agreed that we're going to calculate it using a different worksheet, which is our sheet 2. Okay, in exams, this is the proper way of doing it. First page, okay, even if your answer is going to be only 4 or 5 lines, okay, dedicate a full page for your answer. Okay, you have already paid for that answer sheet in the exams, you've already paid for it, so it's yours. You can fill it up. If it is finished, they will give you another one. Okay, so it's really, really important that you lay out your answer properly. Okay, so first sheet will be for your answer, and second sheet onwards will be your workings. Right. So my question is, if we have to calculate our overheads, what do we look at? We agree that we're going to look at we're going to calculate our FOA absorb it. So in order to calculate our OAR, we need two things. First is our overheads, and second is our activity level. So now my question is, what is our activity level according to the question?
Budget number of units.
Budgeted number of units?
Labor hours.
We have been told in the question, please be careful. Look at
Labor
what
hours.
the problem is. Separate OARs
Labor hours.
based on labor hours. So our activity level in this question is labor hours. Okay? Labor hours is our activity level. So now, in order to calculate our OAR, what formula are we going to use? So we'll have W1. What formula are we going to use?
Budgeted overhead divided by budgeted activity level.
Budgeted hours divided by budgeted activity level. Patu, is that what you said? Patu, is that what you said? Oh, too noisy. Who is causing all this noise? Drame, can you mute, please? Yeah, Fatu, you were talking. What did you say?
Yes, I was trying to answer too.
Okay, yes, we give you a chance, Drame. Yes.
Is budgeted overhead all over budgeted activity level.
Budgeted overhead all over budgeted activity level. So in this case, let's put it into context. So it's going to be budgeted overheads all over
Labor hours, budgeted
total labor hours, okay, for each department. Okay, so we're going to calculate two OARs for each of the department, Department X and Department Y. Is that clear? Okay, so in order to calculate our OAR, we first need to already the overheads is given to us on plate, isn't it? Now we need to calculate our activity level. We need to calculate our total hours for each of the department, isn't it? Okay, so we have Department X and Department Y, right? We have Department X, we have Department Y, and we're going to do it for both products, product A and product B, and then we'll have our totals. Okay, so for Department X, for product A, what will be the number of labor hours? How do you calculate labor hours? Total labor hours, how do you calculate it for each department, for each product? each department, all the two products have to pass through each of the departments. So therefore, in order to calculate the hours, the labor hours for each department, it has to be the labor hours for each of the products, isn't it? So if we have to calculate the labor hours for product A, right? Product A, what will be our formula?
I think it's going to be the time per unit for department X multiplied by the budgeted number of units. The product A.
Good. So the time per unit in department X in hours means in order to produce each product of product A in department X, we will need 4 hours. So in order to produce each product of product B in department X, you need 6 hours. So therefore, easily, if you want to find the total hours that you're going to use to produce each of the, each of the products in department A is going to be their time multiplied by the units. 4 times 2,000, 6 times 1,000. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So let us try to make it more professional. So I'm gonna cut these and paste it here so that I can have a space. Then I'll call this units so that we can just type the units and we apply them since we're going to apply it for each of them. So the units for product A is how many units?
2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
Okay. Product B is how many units?
1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
Good. So now, what will be the hours for product X? So we can say product X. We would say hours. Or sorry, department X hours, department Y hours. So everything that we're going to calculate here will be hours. Good. And we can just multiply it easily. So for department X, we agreed that each product A will take 4 hours to produce. So it's going to be equals 4 multiplied by the units, which is 2,000. So multiplication sign in spreadsheet is what? An asterisk. Okay, asterisk is just the one on top of 8. Okay, multiplied by C4, we enter. Okay. So in order to calculate the total hours for product B is going to be what? Equals. Yeah, I'm waiting.
6 multiplied by
6 multiplied by
1,000.
1,000, which is D4.
D4.
We enter. Okay. So we go to Y. So Y is how many? How to call it? How many hours per unit for product A and how many hours per unit for product B?
Y for product A is 5, then for
Okay.
product B is 7.
Okay, excellent. So we say for Y equals 5 multiplied by C4. And we say equals 7 multiplied by D4. Okay. So let's make sure we have our 1,000 separator. Our 1,000 separator is very useful. It makes life easy for you. So in order to do a 1,000 separator, first we highlight all the columns. These are the 3 columns that will have a 1,000 separator. So we highlight them. We first align this to the right. By default, it's supposed to be aligned to the right. Okay. And then we go to our format. We click on our format menu. We say number. Then we use number formatting, because the number formatting will give you default 1000 separator in 2DP. So we can choose it with 1000 separator and we remove the 2DP because we don't need the 2DP. So I choose the number formatting. It will give me 1000 separator with 2 decimal place. I don't need 2 decimal place. So what I can do is I can come here and reduce the decimal place. So you click once, decimal space disappears once, you click it twice, everything disappears. So 0DP. Okay. So now we're going to add the total number of hours under each department. So we use the sum formula. We say equal sum, bracket opens, bracket closes, we enter, and we replicate. Yes.
So, Mr. Fofana.
Oh, please, before you proceed, I want to.
Yes, go ahead and ask question, please. Patu?
Lost that the D4, C4 and D4. I'm lost.
C4
And D4, yeah.
C4 and D4. You mean the formula on C4 and D4?
Yes.
C4 actually is the units. Okay? So that's the units, the number of units for A and the number of units for B. So to arrive at our hours for department X for product A, so we take the hourly rate multiplied by the number of units. So that gave us 8,000. Okay? So for product B under department X, we take the units. For product B, it takes what? 6 hours per unit multiplied by 1,000. That gives us 6,000 hours. And for product Y, we were given 5. Sorry, for department Y, we were given 5 for product A, 5 hours. So 5 hours multiplied by 2, that gives us, that gave us 10,000. Okay? For product B under department Y, it is 7 per unit. So 7 hours multiplied by 1,000 units gives us 7,000 units. So we have a total of 3,000, of course, will be the units, and 18 plus 6 will give you 14,000 and 17,000, like that. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Right. So shall we move?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh my God. It's almost 5 o'clock. Oh. Right. So now we calculated our total hours. We add this. We make them bold. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate our FOAR or our OAR. So we say OAR calculations. We have our OAR calculations, right? So how are we going to calculate our OAR for each department? How are we going to calculate our OAR for each department?
OAR is the budgeted overhead divided by the budgeted level of activities.
Oh, good. So our OAR is equals to the budgeted overhead, the budgeted overheads divided by the budgeted labor hours. So it is the budgeted overheads divided by our budgeted labor hours. Okay, agreed? So we're going to do it for each department. We're going to do it for each department. We have Department X and we have Department Y. Right. So Department X, Department Y, what are their overheads? What's the overhead for Department X? What's the overhead for Department X?
Department X is 18,000.
Okay, and Department Y is?
6,500.
6,500. Okay, so we can calculate. We say equals 18,000 divided by our total labor hours for Department X. So which cell are we going to use? Divided by?
We're going to use cell E6.
E6. Is it E6?
No.
E5.
E5. Yeah.
So we say equals 18,000 divided by, for your information, the sign for division is a backslash. Okay? Okay? So sorry, this is the front slash, not the backslash. Okay? The front slash goes this way. So this is the sign for division, and for multiplication, it is the asterisk. So divided by, we click on E5, we enter. Okay? It's giving us 1. The reason is because we have not formatted it to what? We have not formatted it to our decimal place. So we can highlight both of them and we take them to 2 decimal place. Okay, can you see? So now it became 1.29. So it's £1.29 per hour. Then for Department Y, how are we going to calculate it? Can you give me the formula for Department Y? Equals? What's the budgeted overhead for Department Y?
1,500 divided by 6.
Divided by, which cell do we click?
E6.
E6. Excellent. And we enter. So once we enter, we'll have 0.38 for Department Y, and we'll have 1.29 for Department X. So this is 1.29 pounds per hour, 0.38 per hour. So now, what is left? What is left is for us to absorb. We've already got our absorption rates. For Department X is 1.29 per hour. For Department Y is 0.38. That's 38 pence per hour. So we're going to absorb. So how are we going to absorb this? How are we going to absorb this? How are we going to absorb this?
12 overheads divided by actual activity level.
Sorry? The overheads, sorry? Divided by the actual activity level. Is that the way to absorb? How do we absorb? We've already calculated our rate that we're going to use to absorb.
Yes, we're going to absorb.
But now we want to absorb.
You're going to absorb using the OAR multiplied by the actual activity level.
So in order to absorb, we use the OAR and the
Actual activity level.
Okay, so what do we do with the 2? We take the OAR multiplied by the actual activity level in order to absorb. Is that clear, everybody? So in Department X, for product A, what is the actual activity level? look at the question. In department X for product A, what is the actual activity level? The actual activity level is simply the hourly rate. Okay? And the hourly rate for product A in department X is 4, whilst for product B in department X is 6. It's already given in the question. Are you following, class?
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Right. So now the production overhead will be broken down into 2 departments, just like we did for the labor. Why? Because our production overheads will be based on labor hours. So labor hours is in 2 departments. Our production overhead will also be in 2 departments. So that's department X and department Y. And that is why we've already calculated the overhead absorption rate for each of them. In department X and in department Y is 0.38. Okay. So what is next? What is next? Jamara, where you are is very noisy, man.
Really? Yes, sir. Sorry.
Mute it, please. Mute your mic. Can you all mute your mic, please, when I'm talking? Ali, Tala, can you mute your mic? Ali? Okay, fine. So let's proceed. Now, we agreed that we are going to calculate our unit overheads. Unit overhead is equal to our absorbed overhead. And in order to calculate our absorbed overhead, we agreed that we must first calculate our rate of absorption, which is our FOAR or our OAR. Okay, we already calculated it and it's here. So we know in order to calculate our OAR is the budgeted overhead divided by the budgeted activity level, which in this case is the labor hours. So we've calculated that and we got for department X 1.29 per hour and for department Y it's 0.38 per hour. So now we come into absorb here. Like I said, when you are absorbing, you take the rate multiplied by the actual activity level. The actual activity level per unit for product A in department X is what? 4. And for product B, it's 6. Is that clear? I hope we are all on the same line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So give me the formula that we should put here. Can someone guide me, please? Hello, are we together? Hello?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, Fatu, can you tell me the formula I should put here on the C14 to absorb for product A in department X? What formula should I put here?
Mr. Papa, I don't know.
Equals to.
I like that. You don't know. Thank you for not knowing that.
Yeah, equals to.
Okay, Karamo is going to lead us. We say equals,
We click on the worksheet down.
2, yeah, we click on 2.
Worksheet, working sheet down.
Which one? That's C2, yeah?
C2, yes, for working.
Okay, yes. The working sheet, yes.
You have to select where the cursor is. No.
The rate, huh?
The rate is 2 point something. I don't know.
1.29.
1.29, yes.
Okay, I already struck it, yes.
Yes. Then we asterisk
We multiplied it
multiply it by 65, the prime cost.
by
Sorry, by multiply
by the actual activity level for product A. And what is that?
4.
65.
Okay, 4 hours per unit. So multiply by 4. Okay, so we're going to take all this into one decimal place. So we can reduce this to 1 dp. So I just click on it. I reduce to 1 decimal place for all of them. So that if you put any of them, if you calculate for any of them, it gives you that. Okay, is that clear? So now for the second one, we have to use the same rate for the second one since it's on the same department, isn't it? So we come here, we say equals, we click on this, we click on this same rate, multiply by what?
6.
Multiply.
6.
Okay, so that gave us 7.7. Okay, so we do the same thing in department Y. So department Y, okay, can someone give us the formula? We say equals, we come and click here. The how to call it, the OAR is in what? C12. So we say, we click on C12, multiply by what? What's the unit? What's the unit for?
5.
5. Excellent. Okay. And the last but not the least, we say equals. We click on this. Okay. C12 multiplied by what? 7. Okay. So these are our overheads under each of the departments. Is that clear? So now let's find our total unit cost. Total unit cost. So our total unit cost will consist of what and what?
The prime cost.
The prime cost
and the overheads.
Plus
Excellent. The prime cost plus the overhead. So what formula are we going to put here? Equals
to sum.
Equals sum, bracket opens. So where do we highlight?
You just highlight from C12
all the
down
way
to C15.
C15. We close the bracket, we enter. Excellent. Good. And we replicate. So these two numbers also, we need to take them to 1 dp. So there are multiple dp, so we just click on this until we reach 1 dp, or alternatively, you can go to format and select the number of decimal place. Okay. So we have 72.1 and 110.4. Okay, so this is our total unit cost. Okay, which is the unit prime cost plus the total unit fixed overhead. Okay, any questions on this, class?
Hello, sir.
Sorry?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Jawara. Yes. Any question, please?
Yeah. On the second page, where are you doing the working? I don't understand where you get that 1.29 or something, you know?
Okay, the 1.29 is our overhead absorption rate under Department X.
Yeah.
You know that? So
Yeah.
if we have to calculate our overhead absorption rate, what formula do we use?
It says like budgeted overhead divided by budgeted labor hours, but I don't figure out the budgeted labor hours. That's what I don't know.
The budgeted labor hours is calculated here. That's this one.
Which one?
Is this one. It's calculated on top here.
Oh, that is 1,000 and the 2,000.
Exactly. So the 2,000 is the unit for each of the product. The 2,000 is the unit for product A, and the 1,000 is unit for product B. In the question, you've been told that in order to produce 1 unit of product A on the department X, you need 4 hours. So what's the total hours? Is naturally going to be 4 multiplied by 2,000.
Yes.
Okay. On the department B, on the department X, product B, you need what? You need 6 hours to produce 1 unit. So if you have 1,000 units, how many hours are you going to use?
That's 6,000.
6,000. Excellent. So on the Y as well. So I hope you understand. So after doing it for all of them, so you add the total hours for department X, which is 14, the total hours for department Y, which is 17. So now you will have your overheads. The overheads for department X is 18,000 divided by 14,000.
Okay.
Which is the equal. So the overheads for department Y is 6,500 divided by the total hours. The total hours is here. 17,000.
Yeah, I get the point. And one thing also is like this thing that you wrote, budgeted overhead divided by the budgeted labor hours. I tried to write it in my Excel, but it's showing me error. I don't know how to manage it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Because the reason is you see the same thing here. Can you see?
Yeah, this is what I'm seeing.
That was that was a very good question, Jawara. That was a good question. You know what happens is if you type equals in spreadsheet, the first thing is programmed to know is you are trying to do a formula.
Thank you. I get it.
Okay? Yeah. And if you are going to do a formula, you always do formula with numbers.
Okay.
So if you start typing equals and then you put budgeted and you start putting text, Excel is going to be confused. So that's why it's displaying error. So what you will do is, if you really want to maintain your equals, you have to prefix it with a single invalid. Sorry about that. I did it and it was wrong. And then I quickly used the single inverted comma without telling you about it. But that's the way you do it. So you prefix it with a single inverted comma. So once you enter, the single inverted comma does not appear, but then the equals will appear. And it won't display any error. Have you done that, Jawa?
Yeah, I did that, and now it's paid. This is where I get lost because I was trying to do that while we were going, so I got lost.
I know. Actually, if any of you observe me, when I did it initially, it displayed error, but I quickly changed it. Thinking you people already know it. So that's the way.
Thank you so much.
Good observation.
Right. So what we're going to do is it's 5 o'clock and it's after 5 already. And I know some people, it's already 18 past. Some people might be having other classes. So to do justice to them, we're going to stop here. Okay, we're going to stop here. So what I want you to do for me is, as your assignment, I want you to do the B and then the C. Okay, the part B and part C of this question, do it as your assignment. Okay, part B is a lot easier because that one you're going to use only one OAR. So that means you are going to add everything. So instead of separating this department X, so you're going to add these two, okay, to have your total of 31,000. And then instead of giving a separate fixed overheads of 18,000 and 6,500, you're going to add them. So it's very, very easy. So the B part is very, very easy. You only do one OAR and you absorb. And mind you, please, if you are doing the B part, you don't have to repeat this portion. What you do is just bring forward the prime cost and then calculate your overhead, but only one overhead, not two. Okay, so do that, and then you do your comment. So you do that, how to call it? You do that on your worksheet. That's on your combined worksheet, the one that you have created, okay, during last class. So if you have not done it, please do it. Try to create your own worksheet in the combined workbook, give it your MAT number and your name, and then do the part B and part C of this question. I hope the assignment is clear.
You said, are we going to do it on the same sheet we first created, or we're going to create our new one?
No, no. From subsequent classes, you will create on your own, okay? But for now, you are going to use the combined one. That's the one we created. Some people have still not done it. So what we're going to do is the ones that have already been added as editor must add in other people that have not been added yet. So if you have been added, you create your own worksheet, give it your MAT number as the name of the worksheet, and then from B2 to B3, type your name. So type your MAT number and your name respectively, and then just below it, do part B and C of this question. Am I clear?
Yes, but I think we need the prime cost. So how can we link that to our new sheet?
So, Mr. Fupa.
Yes.
To be able to add the other one, the B part.
The prime cost, obviously,
Yes.
here 65, and ideally you don't have to calculate it already.
So we just pick the figures and
Yes.
just lock it there, then we continue.
Exactly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the link of this to you on your group so that you can be able to access this. Okay, but then you are not going to be able to edit it. You can open it and view it only, but you will not be able to edit it. So if you view it, just type the prime cost as 65 and 100, and you continue with the rest of calculation. Is that clear? Is that clear, class?
Yes.
So any questions before we wrap up?
Hello, Mr. Bovana.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to register since the start of the class, but I can't.
Okay.
Mr. Fupa, I have a worry. Like, hence everyone is using the same sheet, and everyone got that auditor right. And how about people like going to your worksheet and deleting some of the information that are already in your worksheet?
No, they cannot save it. That's why I ask each and every one of you to protect your worksheet.
Okay, that was what I was trying to ask.
Yeah, you need to protect your worksheet, and then you can hide it as well. Okay, I showed you on that video that I did after class last week. You need to go and watch that video, how to protect your worksheet and how to hide it. I did a separate video after class last week, and I sent it on the how to call it on the WhatsApp. Some people have watched the video, but some people have not watched it. So you can go and watch it so that it can be able to tell you how to protect a worksheet and also how to hide the contents. Is that clear?
Hello, Bovana.
Yes, Ibrahim.
Yeah, I was trying to register since the start of the class, but I can't access the registration form.
Okay, what you will do is for those that are finding it difficult to register, please give your name to the class rep. The class rep will pass all of them to me, and then I'll put them on the register. You want to do it one by one because it's gonna take time. So so type your details on the main group, on the main MA3 group, on the WhatsApp. Then the class rep will put them together, and I'll put them on the register because registration is very, very important as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Yeah. You don't need it for a visa, but then it's really important since you don't have to renew any visa.
Mr. Fofana,
Yes, Danzo.
about protecting your worksheet.
Yes, there is a video already. You need to go and watch that video.
I watched the video.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm using a mobile phone, I could not relate it to my mobile phone. I tried, but I did not see it. I was not
What do you
using
mean?
laptop. You know, the video is
No, it
for the
you
one
know
who are
I
using
told you,
laptop.
most of the features won't work with a mobile phone, and that's why I was saying from day one, all of you need a laptop. And ironically, most of the phones you use are more expensive than a laptop. You can get second-hand laptops for 4,000, for 5,000. So please, if you want to take the best of this subject, you must get a laptop. And not only this subject, but most of the subjects you do at the UTG. To be honest, if you want to be, how to call it, a student, you have to get both. You have to have your mobile phone and a laptop. So please make sure you get a laptop so that you can be able to practice. Mobile phone has got the feature, but it's limited. It's definitely limited because of its nature. So if you want to get in practice, when you go to work, it's going to be a laptop that you're going to be using. So you better start using the laptop now, please. Okay. So how did you find the lectures today?
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Hope you are able to learn some new stuff.
Yes, a lot.
A lot. Okay, excellent. So inshallah, we'll be continuing in this trend. You have to bear with me. It's all for you. We're going to go slow, but it's all in your interest. Okay. I don't want to rush the course, so I can be able to rush and give you exams, so I can be able to rush and get my pay from you to the interest I get from this is the satisfaction, my students receive out of the course. So please bear with me. This has got a lot of bearing in your future life, to be honest, lots of bearing. Ask the past students who have gone through MA3 with me. Okay, they will attest to that. So make sure if I give you homework, you do your homework. Okay, do your homework. There's no two way. I am going to mark each and every homework is going to be part of your overall scoring. Okay, do it on time and don't copy it from people. Okay, try your utmost. Please, let me tell you one thing. If you copy it from anybody, I will know. I will 100% know. Google Sheet is not something that you can cheat and you'll not be caught. Okay, I will be able to track you by using how to call it the version history and so on and other features. You can see once I click on this, I'll be able to know who created this, who edited it, who did what there, and at which time. So I'll be able to catch you. So please, and some students are fond of, that's why I'm not using Excel. Okay, I know with this I will definitely be able to catch you. Okay, I'll be able to catch you if you're going to cheat. I hope I'm clear. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You are.
clear.
Okay, good. So thank you so much for coming and enjoy your weekend.
Mr. Fofana, I just said something with you. You can just use to ask a comment. Just comment. I was using my phone along, but anyway, I just said.
Sorry, can you say that, Sehu? You shared something with me.
Yeah, that's private. I just wanted. I was using a phone along, so but I would discuss this with you later.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, have a good evening and thank you so much for coming. So please make sure you do your homework and the how to call it, the deadline for the homework is Thursday at 4 p.m. Okay, Thursday at 4 p.m. Karamo, please, what I'm saying, try to communicate this by text on the forum, yeah? Try to communicate it by text on the forum. So the deadline is Thursday. I mean, this can, if you concentrate, it will take you less than half an hour, to be honest. But anyway, I'll give you up to Thursday, 4 o'clock. Karamo, can you type that the text so that it will be clearer on the WhatsApp group forum, yeah?
Inshallah, I will do that, inshallah.
Okay. Right. So thank you so much. And we'll see you again next week, inshallah.